Okay, so now I want to take you through some delivery options. Let's just say this is your final edit ready for export. The way you want to attack this is by creating a master ProRes. This is basically a file that you're going to be using to create many different deliverables. So this needs to be in the highest quality possible. So I know that this timeline was 4K, so I'm going to go ahead and change my resolution to 4K. And let's just assume that this was shot with Alexa or Red, which means 422HQ is not the highest quality we can get out of it. So we're going to go and pump it up to 444XQ. And once you have these settings set to this, you can scroll down advanced settings and just click these two guys, force sizing to highest quality and force deburr to highest quality. And at that point, you're pretty much ready to go, and all you have to do is add to render queue, and then that will be your pristine ProRes master. Okay, so that's just a general practice, and let's just do it. Let's just try it out. So we had our ProRes, it was set to 444XQ, and it had, this looks good. Now I can just go ahead here and say ProRes 444 and save it. So look what happens now. Now if I click right here to ProRes master, it defaults back to 422HQ, but look at what's sitting right here. So it doesn't even matter. I could be in my edit page, go back to my delivery page, and look, the first thing is right here. So just watch what happens here. As soon as I click on it, boom, it goes to 444XQ, 4K resolution, and these are checked on. I'm ready to go. I don't even need to do anything. Just click, boom, and it's gonna move over. I'm ready to go. So this is very important to remember. Now that we've exported our ProRes master, let's focus on our H.264 or our web version. Usually in our web version, we're gonna have two different types, a review web version and a final web version. So review is gonna be for your client to check it out and give you some feedback. And then your final is going to be what's going to end up on Vimeo, YouTube, or your personal website or client's website, whatever have you. So let's start our webmaster based on whatever is available here. So I'm going to click on H.264 master and then kind of go through these settings and see what's happening here. I'm not a huge fan of auto, like for the quality. So here's what I recommend. If this is going to the client, we can do this. First of all, we don't need this resolution, okay? So we can easily drop this resolution down to 720p, and we can drop this down to, I will just do 8000, and that is, and I will check these off. I don't need those checked. And now I'm gonna go here and call it for client or just client. So now we have this over here. Again, we saved this version, so if I click on something else, it's totally changed. If I want to export it for my client, I can just click right here and it will pull up all those settings, and then I hit render and it moves it over and I can just render it out. So that's one version that we created. Now let's create a final web version, which is going to be the highest quality web version. Okay, so I'm going to start off from my base by clicking on H.264 master. Now what I want to do is I want to leave it at 4K because that's exactly what I want. I don't want automatic, so I'm going to restrict it. And I want to make sure that these are checked on again. And then we're going to go to our restrict to, and I'm going to change it to 80,000 this time. 80,000 is perfect for 4K. If it's 1080, you can do 40,000, but 80,000 is just more than enough. And if you guys have seen my videos on YouTube or Vimeo, the quality is just next level. And it's because this is how I export my videos. I don't need to save this version because I believe it's already saved, Web 4K 80,000, so I don't need to save that. And that's about it. Same process, add to render queue and hit render, and you're ready to go. Now let's look at a specialty item, which is your aspect ratio for your IG. So if you're exporting it for a square, let's just go and look at a better example. So I'm gonna go under my timelines. Let me just do this really quick. I'm gonna go under my timelines and I'm gonna pop open one of these. So let's just say this. If I want to export this in a square aspect ratio, this is what I have to do. First of all, I'm gonna have to go here and I'm gonna change that. So I'm gonna go back to 1080p and then I'm gonna change that to 1080 by 1080. Now when I hit save, look what happens. Now everything is looking great. This is how it's supposed to be. Now I go to my delivery, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go, let's just build it off of this. So our H.264 master, and what I need to do is custom resolution. So I need to set it to 1080 by 1080, and then I'm not gonna do auto again, and Instagram resolution are super low, so you can get away by doing 6000, and I don't need these checked. So I'm gonna do this and we're ready to go. I can go in here and I can save this preset, but again, I don't need to, because if you click right here, you can see IG post. So I already saved it, but this is what you need to do for your IG post. And don't worry about this pillar boxing, because once you export it, you won't be seeing that pillar boxing. It's gonna come out nice and clean in a square format. So guys, those were all the different delivery settings that you will probably be using in the future, and I showed you how to create your ProRes master and different types of web versions, and then we looked at our IG version and how to save your presets.